Which numbers do we want to see, do go over, have questions about? If you had something other than a 3, keep your hand up. If you had a 3, put your hand down. So we're going to do 3 and 5, and then if you didn't have a 3 or a 5, keep your hand up. So not a 3, not a 5, everything but those, so I can count what was left. Alright, so we're going to do 3, 4, and 5. There were some 1s there, but 4 the 1s. Alright, there were different ways to write this. I'm just going to give you one way. If you want to check yours or say yours and I'll check it, then you can do that. So one way we could have written this is 3 times the difference of x and 2 comma squared to show that they were all squared, all added to 5. That's not even how I put it in my answer key, but it's okay. Anyone else want to say theirs to see if they got those right?
3 times the sum of x minus 2 all squared plus 5.
So the sum of would mean that we're adding in here. Now if you started off the sum of 3 and the product of, and you went like that, then you could use the sum of at the beginning.
Oh, so can you see 3 times the difference of x minus 2 all squared?
You wouldn't say the difference and minus. You already covered that.
Okay, so difference of x and 2 all squared plus 5.
You would have to say all plus 5 or something at the end. Or somewhere with the sum or something like that. Anyone else want to share theirs? Number 4,
Wait, can you wait?
state the x and y intercepts of the graph. There were 2 x-intercepts and 2 y-intercepts. So the x-intercepts were at -5 and 4. The y-intercepts were at -5 and 6. That is all you have to do. Questions on that one before we do 5?
Wait, I think if you get that one before this one.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. If you put 0, 6 before 0, -5, that part doesn't matter. Okay, I will come back to this if you still need it. Number 5, going back to our transformations. This is our original. This is our new function. We are comparing the statements. This graph was shifted up because of the +2. It is less steep because of the 1/2. And the negative reflected the slope. So you need to have all 3 of those things in order to get that full point for that sharp angle. So you don't have to write all of that. You can just write up, less steep, reflected the slope. Reflected the slope. Right. Make sure your names are on your answer sheets and pass them up. in Desmos, you would have used your table, typed in your y1 tilde mx1 plus b, and gotten these numbers. And then the question said round to 1 decimal place, so your answer would have been y equals 0.6 x plus 9.8. So if you wrote more than that, basically the format / each number was worth 1 point. So if you wrote more than that, I just took off half, not for both, unless your numbers were completely wrong. Then for everything else, if you were using Desmos, you should have just taken this number. This would be your x because the weight depends on the age in months. Put x equals 10 in Desmos. And found where those two lines cross. And then you could have either wrote 16.27 or rounded it to 16.3. And then you needed labels.
You have to say it. Yes, you do. She literally said that.
Because this is a real world scenario and this is looking for the weight, so pounds. So in order to get the full point for that one, you needed to show me how you did this and get the either exact or rounded answer. Some of you didn't round correctly, like you put 16.2, which would not be as accurate. Some of you use this, put 10 into this. I'll show you what happens when you do that. You don't get an accurate answer. So you need to use the one with the most decimals, which is your line of best fit that's already in here. When you're looking at where this line and something else intersects, that's using all of the decimals. So that is going to be the most accurate. The less decimals you use, the less accurate it is. So then you're getting something that's not as accurate or would be wrong. Questions on that first one? Second one was the same. Somewhere you had to either show me that you multiplied 5 and 12, or somehow you got 60, which showed me that you multiplied by 5 and 12. Again, put that into Desmos to see where those two lines cross. And you could have given me one of three answers, 48.453, 48.45, 48.5, any of those, and then again, pounds. Questions on that one? Okay. And then the last one, we are now looking for how old the girl will be if she weighs more than 45 pounds. So you could have put in y equals 45. And then I accepted different answers. 54.635 would have put it exactly at 45, but I still accepted that. 54.63 would have been a little over 45, and I would have accepted that. 54.6 would have also been over 45, and I would have accepted that. If you rounded it to 55, as long as you put the units, I accepted that. Anything over that was way too much. So don't round too much.
Listen, it should be way before. You can't just add 6 pounds. 6 pounds. That's way too much. That's what she said. She lets those slide because they're a little over. Not 5 over.
5 is 5 is 5. I told you.
I'm not listening to you.
So any of those 4, I said 54.63, but I meant 64. But any of those would have been acceptable answers. Anything over that is way too much. You can round, but you have to know when to stop.
6 pounds.
60 is way too much. Right? So to get the full point, you needed the label, how you got this, one of the roundings. To get both points here, you need to show me 60 somehow and one of the labels / rounding, whatever. Questions on any of that? Tomorrow and Friday, you're going to be doing your summative activity, to which I'll explain tomorrow. If you are not here one of those days, let's say you finish tomorrow and then you're not here Friday, then this doesn't apply. But if you don't finish and then you're not here Friday, you will have to take the test instead, which will be an after school thing, Tuesday or Wednesday. You would probably have to do that Tuesday or Wednesday next week before we go on winter break. Keep that in mind. Alright, now I have to show you this video. I just have to pause this. After the video, you can grab your phone,